The mac and cheese has got a gelatinised sauce, a mornay because it's got cheese on, and we start off trying to boil the pasta in some water with a saucepan big enough so it doesn't boil over, and the pasta's just covered it with water. Then in the front pan you add butter, cornflour and a little bit of mustard. The mustard isn't hot, it just warms the bechamel up, and we're going to melt the butter and the cornflour together to create a roux, R-O-U-X. And the roux is the start of a bechamel sauce, otherwise known as a white sauce. And you need to keep the butter moving so it doesn't burn, and this shouldn't go dark brown, so we're just waiting for it to just melt into a paste. Once the roux has gone into a paste, you're going to add your milk and keep stirring with this balloon whisk, which will stop the whole sauce going lumpy. So I find a balloon whisk is much more effective than a wooden spoon. Make sure that the back pan is being monitored and that the pasta isn't going to be sticking to the bottom of that pan. And you'll notice that I'm continually stirring the front pan and getting my whisk right into the corners. If you continually stir, the whole sauce won't burn. After a while it starts to thicken from the centre of the sauce outwards, and this is really important that you keep stirring. Once you've got it nice and thick and it's been boiling, you're going to take it off the hob and add your grated cheese, which will melt with the residual heat of the sauce. I don't try to put my cheese back on the hob. So at this stage it's a bechamel. As soon as you add the cheese, it becomes a mornay. And basically just let the residual heat of the saucepan melt the cheese. Then I swap my pans round and switch off the back hob. When my pasta is done, I'm going to drain it. Then you're going to drain the pasta. Don't hold the colander while you're draining, that's a scalding hazard. Put the colander into the sink and with both hands drain the pasta out. Then you'll have a bit of gunk on the bottom of your saucepan. Add a little bit of water just to dissolve that off and put the pasta onto the saucepan until it's drained. Then take the drained pasta and put it into the mornay saucepan, and with a wooden spoon just give it a nice stir to make sure that the pasta and the mornay sauce are fully incorporated. Now lots can be added to this. You can add peas and sweetcorn, bacon bits, fried mushrooms, sausage pieces that has already been cooked, or you can just keep it as a mac and cheese. And then put this into whatever oven-proof dish you're putting it in. Here I'm using one that's going to be frozen, so this is yet to be baked. But before baking, you can actually freeze it and keep it until you're ready to bake it. And so the mac and cheese has been put into this foil tray, making sure it doesn't go any higher than the level of the shoulder of the tray. And then make sure you get your saucepans and drain them, add a bit of water to them, and then add the top for your mac and cheese if you're going to be putting it in the freezer. And it's always worth putting the date of this on your top so that you know when it was made. or you can put it straight into an oven-proof dish with a little bit of extra cheese and cook it. And this has shown gelatinisation in a suspension sauce with tender pasta.